Hey guys, this is a technique that you can use in just standard training, or it can be applied to defensive tactics for law enforcement, for people who do bouncing, such as doormen, for military if you're dealing with nation building, issues rather than just straight out combat. So this is really common, really common in defensive tactics. There's some inherent benefits and some inherent negatives that I want to discuss, but I want you to practice it with your partner so you can see what it's like. So it's called the double gooseneck. Okay, the double gooseneck can be entered into a number of ways. A lot of guys use it to knock balance off this way, and then they come back, and when they come back, they move this into a position like this. Okay, it sort of depends on who you're dealing with, how tall they are, that kind of thing. I have a corrections officer that I deal with who's huge. He's like 6'6" or something like that. Guy wears like size 16 shoes or something. You know what I mean? Like I can fit 3 of my feet in his shoes. So I'm not going to put a lot of pressure to knock him off balance and that kind of thing. What I'm going to try to do is sort of a sneak attack, if you will, so that he doesn't see it coming. So again, essentially what you're looking at is you want to bend the arm into this gooseneck position, okay? Like I said, a lot of people will do it by putting pressure here, and then as they pull them off balance, they're going to pull this arm back into the antecubical fossa, or the elbow pit, and as they pull it, they're going to get that bend, bring their hands in like this, and they're going to sink it into their own elbow and into the side here. As you put pressure here, you're almost always going to get a tap, even from big people. Okay? Now, what you want to do is pay attention to your hand position. If he reaches up and my hand's on top like this, he can reach with his other hand and grab my fingers very easily and peel them right off and start to develop room so that he can escape. Okay? So this is a come-along technique that transitions into handcuffing. One of the things you can do to protect yourself is switch your hand out. So when you grab the hand, you pull, get into your gooseneck position, and you change your hand position out so that your right hand is now on top, and now he can't simply scoop on the fingers and pull them off, okay? So it's something worth considering. The way to practice this is just go into a C grip right here at the wrist and just let the hand fall loose. Let your palm come on top of their hand, and then grab and bend and slide up, okay? Like this. Now, inherent dangers. You can see that the way that I have it on my left hand like this, in my left armpit, or my left elbow area, this allows him the opportunity to reach across. So if I've got equipment, such as a baton, magazine, handcuffs, firearm, OC, any of that stuff that's up here in the front that you might have if you're in law enforcement, or if you're in security, and if you're in the military, if you happen to have anything like a knife or something like that that would be available to him, bear in mind that that proximity is now available to them if you're standing here like this. So you can see that he can reach these areas relatively easy. And if he has really long arms, he's in a good position. So that's one of the problems with being on this side like this. And it doesn't matter whether I'm over here doing it or whether I'm on this side doing it. The point is that my closest side is against his side, rather than my farthest side, which is over here on my right hand. So I know people like me prefer to be on this side on a double. Now it's a different position, but I'm going to move around to the back and go to a single almost immediately. And that allows me to grab here. We'll talk more about the single in the single gooseneck. Watch that video. What I'm getting at is that you want to be careful if you have equipment when you do this. So again, the entry, C grip. You can bend the wrist if you want to for the sake of practice. You can reach up and grab and bend and step. Watch your foot position. You don't want to be in a position where you don't have good stability. And then you're going to switch your hands out, and that's your basic position. And you can do the come along. Or you can do an off balance position where you move and pull it back and get into the gooseneck, and then switch your fingers out into that position. Remember to maintain your posture. Keep a low center of gravity. You don't want to be trying to stand around with your feet close together like this, or in a narrow stance. This is not what we want. You may start in a narrow stance, but you're going to want to get your legs bent and really control him, because if he starts to get squirrely, you're going to want to be able to move this into a takedown or something of that nature. So that's the basic double hand gooseneck. Easy to do. Get a partner and practice it.